So Robbie, a big welcome back to Grant Street, a place that will hold a lot of special and happy memories for yourself. Being a Merkinch boy, born and bred, what age were you first involved in Clach?
Obviously, when I learned to walk in the Merkinch, one of the first places you came to was Grant Street to support the Lilies, and obviously I supported them as a young kid. Came through Merkinch primary school and went to Clach games home and away from a very young age. As a very young boy, I went through and played for Telford Street United, which was Carly at the time, for my sins. And Jim Oliver was the Clach manager at the time, and he asked to get me on loan. I think it was about 16 and a half, 17 years of age, when I asked to come and join Clach on loan, which I did.
So, as a player, you're present during 1990 when Clach went into liquidation. Would you consider this one of the darkest points in your career?
Yeah, obviously I was very young at the time, but I remember it. We're on the bus and we're going to people's houses to pick boys up to try and get 11 players to go and play an away game in the higher league, and it wasn't very pleasant. We were coming back up the road being heavily beaten, and most weekends it wasn't very nice. And obviously when the club did go into liquidation, Ross County came in for a bid for me, and I headed across the Keswick Bridge and signed for Bobby Wilson, and well, the rest is history. Try and win some football on us, to be honest with you.
So as a player, you actually suffered 3 leg breaks. Do you feel that this motivated you more to become a successful manager?
Yeah, obviously the leg breaks are part and parcel of the game, but I think the last one against Albion Rovers probably finished me, and I was determined to come back because I had a testimonial with Coventry City. Gordon Strachan took his first team north, and I worked hard to get back fit to play in that. And he came back to Clach, and to be honest with you, the legs were going. I know I was pretty young at the time, but when you've had 3 leg breaks, every time you get a bad injury like that, it does slow you up a wee touch. Not that I was ever the quickest player around, but yeah, I did get involved in coaching at Ross County when I was injured. I was helped take the reserves for a short piece of time. I really enjoyed it. And when I came to Clach, Brian Black, he was the manager. Lofty, a really nice guy. He won the higher league, remember, in his Thistle. A lot of respect for Lofty. He asked me to come and join in as his assistant, which I really enjoyed. I learned a lot from him. He was a very quiet man, but when he spoke, you knew you had to listen. I really enjoyed working under Brian, and Brian left due to work commitments. And the chairman at the time, David Dowling, had approached me in training one night. He said, "How do you like to take the team?" And I thought it was just for a short piece of time. And I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I want to make you new manager." And I think it was probably the biggest gamble that a club chairman had ever given to Clach, to give somebody that had very little experience to give me the job. And I remember speaking to him, and I said to him, "I'd be delighted to give it a go for you. If it doesn't work out, we'll shake hands and we'll move on." I said, "If I don't win the league in 3 years, I'll leave in 3 years." And he actually laughed in my face, to be honest with you. And we had a great working relationship, myself and David, and obviously the supporters, trust at the time, were very good to me. They were raising funds to get money to get players, and that was pivotal for us to put the success on the park.
So no league title in nearly 30 years, but you managed to deliver it in style along with a league cap. Tell us about your memories from that season. I understand there's also some special moments against Nairn and Broda as well.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. We finished 5th the year before that, and I had some really good players lined up, experienced players like Daisy Ross, Stephen Biscuits, McDonald, David Mackay, to name a few, wee Mikey Sanderson, good players. We were doing pre-season at Mulburn, and I says to the boys at Mulburn, once I got everybody in, I says, "Guys, we've got a real good chance of going to do something next year." And I'll never forget it, wee Mikey Sanderson chirps up, "Well, let's do it." So we did do it, but it was a fantastic season. The boys were amazing, you know. We got off to a good start, we caught a lot of teams cold, and we gained confidence, and we really pushed on from that. And we were a team that really liked playing. We were a big, fit team, a strong team, and that was something I wanted to install here. I didn't want people coming here enjoying coming to Grant Street Park, and I didn't want going down the East Coast and teams enjoying playing us, and that changed very, very quickly. Yeah, there were a couple interesting stories. The Nairn game was an interesting one. Obviously at that time there was a lot of rivalry between Clach and Nairn, and and a lot of Clach players, a lot of Nairn players wanted to come to Clach, but I couldn't afford them. And we had a good rivalry, a good battle when we played each other. But the game that springs to mind was we played Nairn, and it was probably 7 or 8 games to go to the end of the season, and I got a sniff that Nairn had a flu virus at came through their club, and they were on the game off on a Saturday. So through my style, I got up early in the morning, went through the station park for the pitch inspection, and the chairman was there and the match referee came, and he said, happy to give it till 1 o'clock with favourable weather conditions, and a little bit on the far side was a bit frosty. So that was fine. Jumps in the motor to head home and get showered to get ready for the game, and phoned Daisy Ross to leave Kinloch Burvey, phoned Big Grant Davison to leave Portree. I'm home getting changed, and Murray Firth announced the game's off. Couldn't believe it. So, bottom brass tacks of that, the Nairn chairman had cancelled the game, and I've gone back to Nairn with Ian Polworth at lunchtime, bit fitter, then managed to jump the wall, going about Station Park, throwing a pitchfork about the place, and it's gone in about 2 inches into the park. It was unplayable. They actually got fined for it because the match referee didn't get to come and inspect the pitch. But that didn't make it any easier for us, because Nairn actually beat us in the Wednesday night 3-1, and they beat us well. They were the better team on the night, and it was a sore one. And I remember coming in after the game, and they were absolutely mental next door. And I told the boys, everyone, to sit down and say nothing and listen to it. I said, because we don't want to hear this again. And I walked out the tunnel at Nairn to do my press conference, as you do. When you win or lose, you've got to go meet the press, and the Nairn chairman was standing 10 feet in front of me, and he's on his phone to somebody saying how he'd beat Clach and get it up Robbie Williamson. And I stood behind him for about 2 minutes listening to telling this story to him on the phone, and he turned around and I stood there, and there was a funny smell came from him. It wasn't his aftershave, to be honest with you. And I said to him, congratulations on your team's performance tonight. I said, if you played like that every week, you'd be at the top of the league rather than the bottom half of the league. And I walked away, but that moment for me was a big moment. Just having to drum it to the boys, we need to go and press the reset button. We have to go again, and it didn't get any easier. We had so many away games. We had to go away to Brore on a Wednesday night. Difficult place to go. Again, a lot of people, you know, ex-teammates and friends of mine, and a good friend and ex-teammate of mine, God rest Big Alan Hercher, scored a great header, put them 1-0 up, and we were struggling there. We were struggling. So at half time, we're down 1-0, and I'm standing in the halfway line, went to speak to the referee, and one of my ex-teammates, Gordon Collin, made a couple of comments about my team as he was walking off the park, and I went into the away changing room, rearranged it. There were some things that were getting thrown about, sent the boys out, and to be fair, we came back in, we had a win, but only just. We got level. About 15 minutes to go, I remember it. I had my blazer in tie on, and it didn't look like scoring. Off came the blazer, and off came the tie, and then the shirt was open, and then David Mackay scores a 93rd minute winner. I'm like Simon Cowell going down the touchline to grab Dave Mackay, everybody's in top of us, and I'll never forget that. I got let off the bus that night, and I had a wee moment to myself, and I says, thank God we're out of the North, because the way the North teams raised their games against us, you know, it was really, really difficult games to play away at Nairn, and Nairn were a very good team, and Brore were a very experienced team. And we went to Keith on the Saturday, and Big Daisy Ross got a late goal. We won there 1-0. We were that, you know, touching distance away from winning the league, but you know, still tough games to go. We had to go away to Cove, and I was one for always doing things different on match days. Total surprise. And Billy Skinner, an assistant manager, says to me on Friday night, right, that's the team we're going with, no change in your mind. And I was halfway down A96, and I shouted to Warden, and I said, Warden, I'm going to do something different. He said, no, you can't do it today. I said, I'm going to change my lineman. Mikey Sanders on one side, Daisy Ross on the other side. I said, the park's tight, let's go and try something different. He said, it's your call. And we got a goal with it. And you know, to be down there and win the league for the first time in 30 years at Allen Park in Cove was, to be honest with you, for me as a Markinger and a Clach supporter, player, and then to manage a team, to go and take the Highland League trophy home, it was special. And the day we were leaving, we found the old flag in the boot room, and I took it and I gave it to the boys before the game. Just before they went out, I said, "Listen guys, this is 30-year-old, go and get us a new one," and they did. And that group of players, every week in, week out, training, home and away, they give me everything, and I couldn't ask them for any more than what they give me. And the next day, testament to the togetherness that we had about 20 of us in my back garden at 10:30 on a Sunday afternoon. And again, Charlie Duncan phoned me because Ali Rogers was in the Highland League select squad, and he was at Perth for training, and he phoned me and asked, he says, "Whereabouts Ali, is he injured?" I said, "No, he's out the back having a bottle of beer." So I don't think Ali got back in the score for that, because he never turned up for that game. But that party went on for days. It was my birthday on the Sunday, it was cancelled. It was my birthday on the Monday, it was cancelled. It was my birthday on the Wednesday, it was cancelled. I had to say, "Guys, wait a minute, we've got a cup final to go and play." We had to go and dust ourselves down, and we had to play Forest, Tyler Park, Keith, which they weren't a bad side at the time. There's some experienced players like Neil White and Charlie Brown was a very good wee striker. And we went out, we blew them away in the first 45 minutes. We were 3-9 up, and we won the game 3-0. And you know, it was great for the boys to do the league and the cup double, and to be a penalty kick away from winning the treble in the qualifying cup against Bucky. We were down to 9 men. We went extra time and we lost it in penalties. You know, it was just a great season, fantastic season. You know, for everybody connected to the club. You know, as a player, you win it for yourself. As a manager, you win it for yourself, the team, but you win it for the community. You win it for the supporters, and supporters have been great to me. You know, they raise funds for me to help me make it happen. I'm forever grateful to them for that.
So that season, was there ever any point or weekend where you thought we could actually win this and we're serious contenders here?
The games came up thick and fast, and it was just one another. And I know it's no cliche, take one game at a time. And honestly, when we got away from Brora, and I was away from the north, I felt I was nearly there. Although we still had to play, with 3 games to play, but it was just a relief for me to get away from the north and then go down the east coast and go to Oldham. And it was, I'd say for me that was probably the pinnacle for me to think I can do this.
So after you left Clach, you went on to manage Elgin, and since then you've not returned to football. Has it ever been something you wish to do?
I went to Elgin, and that interested me because it was in the Scottish League, and I played in the Scottish League for Ross County for 6 years, and I thought I'd give it a go. And in my mindset, I thought I could sign some of the best players in the Highland League and get a team together and compete. But the money was going around the Highland League and trying to attract them, I found it very, very difficult. I think I got 2 or 3 players from the Highland League, and it's a big club, Elgin. It was a really nice club to go and try and do a job in it. Yes, we've had some bad results, but we got into the playoffs, and 2 or 3 games nearly made it into the split. You know, and it was good, but it's very difficult when half your team was down the road and half your team was up the road. Some nights I was training 6 and 7 players, so you couldn't do a session planner, you couldn't work at nothing. Second question you asked to get involved in management. Yeah, I've had 2 or 3 options and opportunities in the last few years to get involved in management. Even a couple of my ex-players asked me to come in with a system for a short piece of time and help them. And to be honest with you, I want to become a Clach manager and win something for the Clach, and I've done that, and I've no intention of managing any other team in the Highland League, and I stuck by that regardless of what clubs come into me and what sort of budgets or what money they offer me. It never ever floated my boat. I did what I set out to do here at Grand Street, and I'm happy with that, and I'm really, really proud of it. It's ironic that it's 20 years, April this year, since we won the League and Cup double. So we look forward to hopefully we can get the boys together and have a good weekend or day or 2 to go and celebrate, because 20 years later, things have changed in football. It seems that the East are dominating it again, and it'd be great for Clach you know, to get strong again and start competing with those teams in the East, you know. And, you know, like say yourself, Corin and Dan and the rest of the boys in the Clark, you know, line shed, these boys deserve a good Clark team, and I'm sure Corin and Robbie, Blair and Mark McCallum will get you there, because they're enthusiastic, and you know, your results are improving and down a couple of games. So I mean, let's just hope that the management team can get Clark back to where they belong, because I feel that the league needs a good North team, and I feel that Clark are the team that can go and start climbing the table, hopefully.
So you mentioned there it's been 20 years since you last won the league. Do you have a message for the fans from back then, and also the ones current day, and also a message for the ones who attend the Bothy on a Saturday, the new supporters bar?
I think I'm probably the only manager that's ever managed a football team that knew everybody that came in, everyone's name, even the dogs that come in with their owners in the first name terms of every. I mean, the Clark supporter is the best support in the league. There's no doubt. There's no doubt in that. And to me, they were great. They raised the funds to help me get the dream. And obviously, my cousin George, he's very passionate about the infamous Bothy, and I know his plans that he's got for memorabilia for the Bothy going forward. And he told me this at Christmas time, and I'm going to give him a couple of mementos to put into the Bothy. He can look after them for me. It's my league winners medal, and that's my League Cup winners medal, and that's for all the Clark fans, and I'm sure it'll be in good hands. He'll look after them for me.
Robbie, that's brilliant. Thanks very much for your time.
Very welcome. Thank you, boys. Cheers.